So sexually transmitted disease are actually those specific kind of infectious diseases that occur mostly due to sexual contact. Mostly it's like transmitted via sexual like contact, but also can spread out to all the reproductive tract and also other part of the body via normal contact also. Means this is actually those type of diseases those can attack any part of the body, can be transmitted various other means, but also like the sexual means being one of the main method of its transmission, then all those diseases will be considered as a sexually transmitted disease. So these diseases, there are various types of them that exist. The very one of the most important reason for the transmission of these diseases are unprotected coitus, where some people who are like engaging with like heterosexual contact, that very person, if it is if it is like positive for one particular diseases and has gone through an unprotected means of coitus, then that person, there is a high chance of like contracting this particular disease from the infected one. And that is actually the main reason for the sexual transmitted disease to be spreading from one person to the next. It's majorly the heterosexual contact. And this method, this particular diseases, there are various types of them that exist, ranging from the virus to like parasitic to bacterial, many other kind of, even fungal diseases also exist that are there. So we are going to just talk about the few of the things, few of them that are there. Now before moving on to that, the very famous one out of the entire lot will be the HIV. People are very much aware of this particular disease. It's called acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, or the AIDS. And it's actually one that is that whenever somebody contract this particular disease, they always think that there is a sexual I mean heterosexual contact that was involved, but not necessarily. As I have mentioned before, that the disease can also spread by other means. For instance, a person who is actually like HIV positive, has already contracted the viruses inside. If by any chance there is a transfusion of blood from that infected person to the healthy person that occur, then that time the disease can actually spread from the like infected to the healthy. It can be like a syringe or a needle, something that has gone and touched the blood, and now the blood that particular needle is has that virus on top of it. Now if that same needle somehow prick the healthy person will actually contract the disease. And the moment the disease enters the human immune system, it attacks the immune system only. I mean the blood, whenever it enter, it attacks the human immune system only. And if it attack the immune system, which is supposed to protect us from any kind of pathogen or anything, the person, there is no way to escape this particular disease. So that's why everyone contract this disease, maybe heterosexual contact or maybe via other unfortunate means. But whenever the person contract this disease, there is a very lesser chance of getting it cured, because if it is detected or diagnosed in an early stage by like continuous usage of antiviral drugs, or which are also called the retroviral drugs, specific for these cases. So continuous intake of those drugs may lead to cure of the person. May lead, there is a smaller chance, because it is only possible for the cases where the person has recently contracted the disease and it is not it didn't spread too much in the body. And that time, by application of all this medicine, sometime can actually cure the person. But usually the normal cases, the person will not be cured via like if the cases is later cases, means already long time has passed, then let's just change in lifestyle is what is required. Nothing else can be done in that particular manner, though the research is still going on for a total cure of this particular diseases. So HIV is actually a very famous out of the lot, but there are other viruses are also there, like the HPV, human papilloma virus, or the HSV2, human herpes simplex virus, are also like two more type of viral diseases contracted even by sexual means. Then we have got chlamydia, which is actually called chlamydiasis. The disease is called chlamydiasis. Then we have the gonorrhea disease and syphilis and mycoplasma. They are all different other kind of STDs that also are in existence, of which like we are going to discuss a few of them in the slides coming next. So first of all, AIDS, as I mentioned before, AIDS are actually means which is transmitted by the HIV virus, which is shown right here. The HIV virus, diagrammatic representation of this virus. Well, actually, I will not speak a lot about this particular virus because the understanding of this virus, the structure, its contraction, its way of transmission, formation, everything, it is in the scope of syllabus, but in a different chapter. So when it will be discussed in that chapter, it will be discussed in detail. So I'm not going to go and elaborate the topic again. So this virus that is there, it actually attacks the human immune system, mostly the macrophages, and then the like T helper cells. So there you can see in the picture where the infected cell is now like inside the infected cell the virus has replicated and is now coming out of the cell as shown in this green color computer enhanced scanning electron microscopic image. So the red one being the macrophage, and all this green color things that are coming out of it are actually the viruses, the healthy viruses that replicated from that particular cell and is now coming out of the cell. So this is the way of contraction of AIDS. It will be discussed in detail in a different chapter. Now the next one is actually syphilis. Syphilis is a very famous one because Napoleon Bonaparte was actually killed because of this particular disease. It is caused by this bacterium called the Treponema pallidum, and Treponema pallidum is spiral bacteria, means spirochete type bacteria, and this particular bacteria is unique in causing the disease because it can remain asymptomatic for 20 years even, means it has gone inside the body of the person but will not show any diseases, nothing whatsoever in the person for even 20 years, means for 20 years it will remain dormant inside the body and then suddenly starts showing all the symptoms, because already during that time it has spread to the body a lot, to different parts, and will started showing all the symptoms. So one of the most deadly symptoms of this disease are these blistering cankers that are formed all around the body, especially in the genital area and in the other part of the body also, which are very painful, and the person actually even suffer from sterility because of this particular bacterium, and this can lead to the death of the person also, because the spreading of the disease can actually cause several organ failure inside the body also. So this syphilis is actually one of the diseases that are spread like that particular way. The next one being gonorrhea, which is caused by this bacterium called the Neisseria gonorrhoeae. And Neisseria gonorrhoeae, it also attack mostly in the female. We consider that it mostly attack in the female. Usually like this particular kind of pus filled blisters that will be seen as one of the cases of one of the symptom of gonorrhea, and it is shown in the skin here, whereas it can actually affect the entire genital region, interior endometrium, all the different sides, and can actually cause like most of the diseases out here can actually show like burning sensation in the while urinating, sometimes can lead to discharges from the penile region, discharges from the vaginal region, and all those discharges are not gametic in nature, but rather they are actually exudates coming out of by the broken mucous tissues and all. So all these things are actually produced by this particular bacterium due to the infection of this particular bacterium, and it's quite painful again and quite troublesome for the person also, means it cause a lot of damage to the organ and all. Next one will be chlamydia, which majorly attacks the uterine mucous region, breaks them down, and actually starts producing this white color pus. As you can see, it's all around this area, over the uterus, everywhere the white color pus and everything is forming. Then also this swelling of those endometrium and all these things will actually happen in the cases. And this chlamydia, it attacks very vigorously, very fast, and leads to formation of this like huge exudates of white color mucus, broken mucus, the destroyed tissues, masses, and everything. So the entire uterine wall actually gets affected and destroyed by this particular bacterial contract. Um, Next is mycoplasma. Mycoplasma, as you know, it is the smallest cell in the world. And mycoplasma, it is the one that affect the genital region called mycoplasma genitalia, is which is this one, is actually responsible for like again uterine wall damage to unwanted penile or vaginal discharge with painful urination and all. It affects the urinary tract also. So all these things, they are all done by the same bacterium, and it spreads a lot. It affects a lot from person to person. And the most dangerous thing about all these diseases are actually that it can pass on to the baby when it is passing through the birth canal. It can actually transmit to the baby also, and can also lead to the death of the newborn baby. So that all things are actually, this congenital transfer is also a very major risk about this particular diseases and all. They can be cured. These all diseases can be cured, but with a very strong doses of strong potent medication only this can be cured. But these all diseases are quite painful and harmful for the body to survive.